If you've ever watched a zombie apocalypse movie and thought the Killdozer would be perfect for surviving this, then you need to read Caterpillar by Travis Corcoran. The sequel's coming out soon, so now's a great time to revisit the original, which I read and reviewed over on Upstream 2 years ago. Hey guys, it's Graham. What's cracking? I'm a truck driver in Oklahoma City. I read a lot of books, and let's jump into this one. So, pulling up my old review, let me just read you some of the highlights from this one. The book starts with the reader dropped into a dark office that we can both smell and feel. There is a fat coder plugged into a desktop with a rising pile of empty chip bags and buzzy drink cans around him. Every app and computer program he owns is set to Do Not Disturb, while he goes on a coding bender for work. He has been in the box for a couple of days, and in that time, the entire world has gone to hell. Oh no, zombies, and we're in a high-rise, multi-purpose corporate concrete box in Boston. Quick, what do we do? Well, reader, this story is only 108 pages, so whatever we're going to do, it better be fast. Operation GTFOH is underway. We've got a scant pile of practical resources throughout the entire building, and a ticking clock working against us because the city next door is on fire, and it's only going to spread to the town. Fortunately, among the few survivors, we can count the maintenance guy, and there's also an old bulldozer in the basement that he uses for snow removal. So now the question is, can we slap enough armor on it to get us to safety? And that is going to be a matter of grit, blue-collar work skills, and hard math. But the biggest X factor comes in the form of the characters itself. And aside from the concept, this roster of characters is where the story does some of its best work. Because if you were to look at it in gaming terms, this is where every character has a positive attribute and a negative attribute that are maxed out. And the question then becomes, like, can they overcome their biggest handicap to capitalize on their biggest strength? So each of these characters has something to contribute and the flaw that can hold them back. Todd is the mechanic. He's got great mechanical skills, but he is an alcoholic. He is the janitor, he is the custodian, he is the fix-it guy who does the job that very few other people know how to do, and he copes with how much he hates it by crawling into a bottle. And hey, we are in withdrawal territory with his symptoms, and that's not something that you can just shrug off through willpower. Those are very real physical effects that you're going to feel, and they're going to hinder you in a scenario like this. Chris is the coder, the fat guy who was stuck in the box, I guess is what we would call it. So his computer skills are high, his BMI is higher. His hope for survival, not great. Even if he does get out of here, he's going to end up out in the rural areas working on a farm, which has never been his strength. That's why he likes computers. But hey, you got to survive the story first to get there. Then we've got Stacy. She is the bubbly, perky, pretty blonde girl who works at the front desk. She is physically fit, and that's something you'll need to survive an apocalypse, but she's got a very low emotional constitution. She's a secretary. Everything is usually very surface level for her. If she can't get her head in the game and overcome her tendency to panic, she's going to get bit before she even knows what's going on. And also in the realm of physical fitness, we've got David. He's fit, he's healthy, but he's just an accountant. He calls someone like Todd when there's a spider in the bathroom. I'm going to need you to man up, David, or you're not going to make it. Pull it together. I did find it refreshing to see characters go through intense internal challenges even as they worked together to overcome the external threat. In addition to figuring out their own problems, they've also got to figure out how to gel together as a group, which is, it offers an insight into the larger challenges that a society can have when facing a crisis. You got to figure out what is the objective and what can you do to contribute to it, and how can you get out of your own way based on what you know your limitations are. In a simpler version of this story, Todd would save everyone while throwing out slurs and being proven right from beginning to end because, hey, that's what the blue-collar guys do, right? We just get it done. He'd be a member of a minority political party, and everyone else would apologize for not voting the way that he wanted them to 10 years earlier. But Travis Corcoran really put the effort into these characters to humanize them and give them all an admirable quality to embrace, even while their faults held them back. In the short time it took me to read this, I was cheering for all of them to make it, and that felt good. So I highly recommend you check out Caterpillar. It is a short story, content warning for language, and I'm very excited to see where it goes from here. I've talked about Travis before here on the channel. He lives in New Hampshire. I believe he's a state rep there. He's one of the more interesting follows that I have on social media. The guy offers a lot of commentary on insights into everything from, politics and culture to technology. He's an Ivy League educated engineer, and he's got the rare ability to check his own biases and to even buck against things that quote unquote his side would say, because he's got his principles and he can at least explain where he's coming from based on those principles. He is not a creature of herd mentality, and that is rare and that is admirable. And in the few pieces of his fiction that I have read, that really shines through. So check out Caterpillar, and when the sequel drops, I'll read that and review that as well. Till next time, drive safe. See you out there.